Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode in a series where we look at the vehicles officially announced for the upcoming game Snowrunner. In this episode we're going to be looking at something a bit more basic than the last couple of episodes. We're going to be looking at what's being called the ZIKZ 5368, a truck based on the real world MAZ 500 series. The early years for this truck series was a bit spotty. Development started before 1955, but despite this, production was not in full swing until 10 years later. Potentially this was due to the fact that the arduous design process which wanted to make sure that this truck had the guts to operate even in the hostile wastes of Siberia. To this end, the truck actually features some pretty modern systems, like a tilting cabin, power steering, and the latest in suspension technology. Pretty impressive for one of the Soviets' first forward-controlled design trucks. This truck came in a wide range of models for many tasks, and even got an upgrade in 1977, and this shows what a reliable workhorse this was at the time. Some notable models include hot and cold weather variants, dumper trucks, fifth-wheel tractor units, and three-axle trucks. The MAZ 500 series was built with two engines right from the start. The first, and the one fitted into standard models, was a 180 horsepower, 11.2 litre diesel V6 built by Yaroslavl Motor Plant, and the upgraded engine fitted into heavy-duty models, primarily the semi-trucks, was a 240 horsepower, 14.9 litre diesel V8 built by the same people. It has to be said that it's very uncommon to see diesel V engines inside Russian trucks from this time, so it's very interesting to see. The fuel tank is pretty accurate to the real vehicle, being only 10 litres smaller than the real truck. Whilst this is a good sized fuel tank for a 180 horsepower engine, if they do add the more powerful V8 as an option, then it might be a bit too small and limit the range of this truck. Whilst they got the width of the vehicle bang on to its inspiration, they seem to have got the length completely out. The standard real-world MAZ 500's length was 7.3 metres, and whilst there was some variety in length depending on the role of the vehicle, no two-axle version exceeded 8.3 metres. However, there was the super long wheelbase three-axle version that was 9.3 metres long. Whilst it is possible that they changed the design somewhat whilst adding it to the game, it seems unlikely to me that they would add another 1.6 metres to the overall length, especially when it doesn't look any longer in the images that we've seen. It's odd that they've decided to make the all-wheel drive switchable. For some context, only one truck from the MAZ 500 series was built with all-wheel drive, the MAZ 509. This truck was designed for the logging industry, and as such it needed all-wheel drive. However, what's odd is that this truck was designed with always-on all-wheel drive, so unless in-game the all-wheel drive is switchable to represent that some of the vehicles in the 500 series were not all-wheel drive capable, I don't know. However, on the flip side, having the differential locks be upgradable does make sense. Whilst some MAZ 500 series models didn't have differential locks at all, some did. These ones had a unique differential system wherein they locked automatically, but could still be overridden by the driver when necessary. Making differential locks upgradable shows off that the system was available to this series of trucks. This truck series had a ground clearance of between 270mm and 300mm, and a fording depth of around half a metre. These sort of numbers aren't amazing, but for such a domestic truck they're actually pretty good. I think this is generally how this truck will perform. It would do well when off-roading, but may struggle considerably if carrying a heavy load, especially if it's required to tow anything. If the ZIKZ 5368 does actually have a total length of 8.9 metres in-game, then potentially it will have a lot of room on its bed for equipment. Personally, I think I'm going to use this as my crane lorry. It has the ability to get everywhere it's needed, but not carry a huge amount of freight in my eyes. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, even though I covered something a bit more down to earth this time around. If you think I got anything wrong or I missed anything important, please comment down below. Thank you for watching, and take it easy everyone.